Just a few valves, just a very quick video. There's obviously a lot of interest on these, and I thought I'd add my 2 pennyworth. First of all, may be interested to know there is a very good site. It's called the, well, I can find it, the National Valve Museum. It's an English website and very interesting. So if anyone is interested, I'd certainly suggest they have a look at that, because there's valves of all types, not just radio valves, what these are, but the complete range. So it's the National Valve Museum. Have a look it up on Google. I think you'll find it quite interesting. And I'm just adding a few of these. I haven't got a vast collection of valves, it's just that I picked them up in the past. I've actually used them. I mentioned this one. This is the earliest one of the group. It's a British 5-pin, or without the middle pin, a 4-pin. And the old sets going back to the 1930s and that. This was the other type of paste that they would have. Just a simple 4-pin or 5-pin. The valve is a double rectifier. It composes of single rectification on each section. You have a heater. Look very carefully there, you can see right in the centre is the heater. It's a thoriated heater wire. It's indirectly heated. It goes into a little tube. It's indirect, and the anodes, or the plates, are these two there. This is one of the most simple types of valve. It's just a full wave rectifier. I won't give too much about the wiring them all up, but suffice to say that's what that one is. And also interesting to note this silvering, which is caused by the getter. I have mentioned this before. You can see inside. If you look inside there, if you look right down behind the where the filament is, or the heater is, look down there and you'll see that plate, which is the getter. They fire this to remove the last traces of air. And I'm going to keep this one short. It just shows this is what we'd call the more typical valve shape. This is actually a Canadian valve or tube made for Canadian General Electric, and the typical numbering scheme 6T7G, and mostly each manufacturer in America certainly would make if they made the same valve, it would have the same number. In England it was a different case, but as you can see with this valve or tube, probably what they call tubes, it's a tubular shape, and that is why it was probably called a tube. This is 6SN7GT. That was made in Canada as well. It also looks like a full wave rectifier. The one we have here is actually an English valve. It's made by the company of Cossa. This was a company that originally came from Italy, and when they came over they made barometers, glass mercury barometers. They then went into valves, and went on for there to medical equipment. The BVA at the top means the British Valve Association, and this one, it says made in Great Britain, but they used, or in this case they used the American designation 6SN7GT, and they also used the same way of showing it. Whether it does say this was made in England, whether it was or not, I don't know, but it's identical to the American type tube. It hasn't got on the base license to extent indicated on the carton, whereas I've found this with the American valves, they've invariably got this on. But it's not always the case. And that too looks like a oh no, it's got a grid in there, so that could be a triode. I haven't checked that number up, but if you look that number up, it'll tell you exactly what it is. As I said, my eyes are not as good as they used to be. It looks to me like there is a grid in there. Anyway, I'm not going to make it too technical, because as I say, there seems to be quite a bit of interest in these. This is a 6V6GT. And this one's made by the company of Bremar, which was a subsidiary of the Western Electric. It was known over here as Colster Brands. They had a factory at Footscray in Kent. And as you can see, once again, this is made in England. BVA, British Valve Association. I can't, yes I can. There's a designation, 6V6GT. It's quite a common valve, that. And this coating inside was for screening effects. And lastly, I say it is just a quick one, 6KG-GT. These numbers referred to, as someone has mentioned before, the number of bits inside. 6 invariably meant the heater volts, and you could work it out what it was. But as I say, have a look on Google. I would dare say if you put that number in, it'll probably tell you exactly what the valve is. It's a bit knocked, it's a bit old. That's actually a metal collar around it. And this one hasn't got anything written on the base either, so it says made in England, and it probably was, but it's certainly the American style and the American numbering. This is what I mean about what's not often underneath, but it's not a hard and fast rule. It says licensed only to extent indicated on carton, and this is actually a genuine American one. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Have a look at that website. I think you'll be interested. It's the National Valve Museum. As I say, they've got valves, all types, transmitting valves, you name it, they've got it. So if you're interested in that, do have a look. It is interesting. Anyhow, once again, any questions, please ask. Please subscribe. Please comment. Thank you again. Thank you.